Shalom Yashrallah Yahawada. Brother Malak back with a message. Lesson. This is truly our profession. These digital epistles, prophesying, unraveling the biblical scrolls. I truly believe this is why we were born. Salak. I truly believe this is why a certain number of men, specifically the 144,000, the elect, was born in this day and age at this time and era to basically be ambassadors and usher in the coming of to usher in and be the ambassadors of the of the one they call Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And that's not his name. His name is Yahawashai Hamashiach. But I want to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahawashai, Bahashim, Rakadash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahawashai. This lesson is going to be titled, The One You Call to Get Rid of the Boogeyman, John Wick, and Godzilla is coming. The one that you call on to get rid of the Boogeyman, John Wick, and Godzilla is coming. That's what the Spirit say, dub it. That's what I'm going to dub it. The Spirit was telling me to dub it this when I was meditating on what I was going to bring out. So that's the title. The one you call to get rid of the Boogeyman, John Wick, and Godzilla is coming. And you can see the depths of that when you look at the world itself, when you look at the world, when you look at the prophecies. But let's get it. Let's bring it in. Revelations chapter 19. Pay attention to how this is Revelations. When you go into the word of revelation, as a matter of fact, let's do it. Let's go into it. Because we're the true scholars, right? Yeah, we are. We are the true scholars. Revelation, the meaning, it says a surprising and previously unknown fact, especially one that is made known in a dramatic way. Revelation, a surprising and previously unknown fact, especially one that is made known in a dramatic way. And what was the title of this lesson? The one you call to get rid of the Boogeyman, John Wick, and Godzilla is coming. I think that's very dramatic. Reveal. Let's get it. Reveal. Reveal is in the word of revelation. Reveal. And reveal, it means to disclose. Here's some synonyms. Disclose, tell, let fall, let drop, let slip, let out, give away, babble, give out, release, leak, betray, open up, unveil, broadcast, air it out, publicize. broadcast, publish, circulate, declare, unfold. Salah. So reveal, revelations. Reveal. 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 So as I said earlier, reveal. So it says, yes, the word reveal, and I just gave you a plethora of synonyms. It says, yes, the word reveal is part of the word revelation. It says, yes, the word reveal is part of the word salak, revelation. It says the root, the word, I could be lying more in this word, but it says reveler. Is that reveler? Revelator? I could be lying more in that. It says Latin is the source, meaning to remove the cover from. The English origin, this Latin word was adopted in the middle Salak into Middle English in the 14th century. Meaning of revelation is directly tied to revealing or making something known that was previously hidden or secret. I likes that. It says the meaning of revelation is directly tied to revealing or making something known that was previously hidden or secret. Very interesting. Very interesting. So let's grab a scroll. Let's grab a scroll. Let's grab a scroll. See, this is not a game, man. You people think it's a game. This is not a game. This is real. This is real McCoy, in which he was an Israelite. This is the real deal Holyfield, which he was an Israelite as well. You know, these prophecies are jumping off the pages. And like the title states, the one you call to get rid of the boogeyman, John Wick, and Godzilla is coming. And if you ever seen the movie John Wick, you'll get the play on the title that I'm issuing out. John Wick was this character that was supposed to be, basically, feared because he was very skillful, tactical, cerebral, and gun-to-gun combat. But let me tell you, John Wick, Godzilla, or the Boogeyman, Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, any Halloween is coming down the pike. Halloween is coming down the pike. No villain or hero, superhero, if you will, can't even touch the greatness of what's about to happen. Soon come and prophecy. But I wanted to grab what is that? Amos, Prophet Amos. Let's grab. So yeah, the one you call to get rid of the boogeyman, to get rid of John Wick, to get rid of Godzilla is coming, and that is Hamashiach, Yahawashi, in the ancient Paleo Hebrew tongue. Salak, Hamashiach, Yahawashi, the Lasholan Kadash. the ancient Paleo-Hebrew tongue, the people in the world or of this world calls Jesus Christ. That's who's coming. And as I read Revelation and how reveal and revealing is in the word, it says the meaning of Revelation. We're in the book of Revelations. I'm going to bring that prophecy, that scroll out. Revelation is directly tied to revealing or making something known that was previously hidden or secret. And by now it's no secret. It's no secret that people know the second coming is coming. These devils know, and you should know when we say devils, you should know who we're talking about. The movers and shakers, the bankers, the deep state, or just call a spade and be real and keep it thorough like we keep it. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Oppenheimers, Orsini's, Bilderberg, or your Illuminati, in which I told you times and times past, we're the prophets, the apostles are the real Illuminati. They're the real enlightened ones. We have the secrets. The secrets are revealed. But even they know, man. They know that the second coming is upon them, is upon us, is upon every soul that's living right now. The second coming is coming, and I'm looking for Amos, Prophet Amos. There we go, Prophet Amos, verse 3, and I believe that's verse 7. Amos 3:7. It says, "Surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he reveals his secrets unto his servants, the prophets." Amos 3:7. Surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he reveals his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. So remember that. Revelation, the meaning of revelation, it says it is directly tied to revealing or making something known that was previously hidden or secret. So who gets the secrets? That's my whole point. That's the whole method to the madness. That's the whole method to the madness. The prophets, we get the secrets. The servants, we get the secrets. Amos 3:7. Surely Yahweh, or it says Lord God, but we know that's Yahweh, the Father, the Ancient of Days, will do nothing, but he reveals his secret into the servants, the prophets. So who are the servants? Who are the prophets? Who are the true servants and the true prophets? Well, you should know by now. And if you don't know, now you know. You know very well who you are. Y'all should know who that is. Isaiah 66, man. Isaiah 66, 15 through 16. It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire." It says, "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many." And we tell you time and time again what these chariots are. These chariots that these prophecies speak of. This devil, he calls them UAPs or UFOs. They already just dropped a video of them shooting one of the chariots with a missile, one of their best missiles. And the chariot, the angelic vehicle, the spiritual interdimensional. Is the term intradimensional? Let's intradimensional. Intradimensional. Interdimensional, extra dimensional, dimensional, interdimensional. Yeah, so interdimensional. It says something that exists or operates between different dimensions. It says refers to something that exists or comes from outside of a dimension. So it's both. The chariots are actually both. You know, they call them UFOs, they call them UAPs, but these angelic vehicles that Yahweh has created, you know, who you ignorantly and obliviously call God, Yahweh has created these spiritual vehicles, these angels. And that's the thing. Some of the prophets say that the angels are in these vehicles, maneuvering them, and then some of the prophets say that they're these spiritual vehicles are moving on their own consent, like they have their own like a mind of their own, if you will. Now the thing is, everything is possible with Yahweh, so I'm going to say it's both. How do you like them apples? How do you like them apples? I'm going to say it's both. I believe they can move on their own. They have a mind of their own. And I also believe that the angels will be driving these things, piloting, if that's a word, maneuvering these things. You know, like a pilot maneuvers a aircraft, and both. And really, it's a lot of them. It's thousands upon thousands of chariots, as the prophecies describe. They're interdimensional and they're extra dimensional. So interdimensional refers to something that exists or operates between different dimensions, and clearly these vehicles do these things. You know, they have turned on and turned off U.S. military bases. They done turned off nukes. They done turned them on. They done hovered over jets. They done hovered over airplanes, aircrafts, military bases. And they're extra dimensional, refers to something that exists or comes from outside of a dimension. And we know what dimension they come from. They come from the heavens, the third heavens, or the first heavens, however you want to count it. So back to the key, it says Isaiah 66:15-16, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots. The Bible identifies them as angelic chariots, spacecraft, not UFOs, not UAPs. Further reading the prophecy, it says, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. The one you call Jesus Christ is coming back very, very angry. And one of my favorite movies, the Joker or the Batman, I think that's is either one. I forget which one. Yeah. It's the Batman. It was the Joker and the Batman, because the Joker has his own movies as well. But it was the Batman with my man's. He played that Joker part so good. I forget his name, but I don't know if he was an Israelite or an Edomite. But I'm probably gonna say he was an Edomite. But one of my favorite lines in the movie, why so serious? Those that know, you should know. Why so serious? So Isaiah 66:15, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. So he's coming back very angry. Very angry. And it's going to be a very serious matter. Verse 16, it says, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. And I'm not going to be too long with this one, even though this is a good one. This is another prophecy that I love to break down and bring out, along with immortality. But the second coming of the one you call to get rid of the boogeyman, to get rid of John Wick, and to get rid of Godzilla. This is the one that's coming. And these devils know this, man. They know this. They know he's coming, man. They are anticipating the second coming, and they're trying to stop prophecy. They're trying to stop or negate or alter prophecy. And that's what Dr. E wants to do. That's what Evil E is trying to do. And in many ways and fashions. They won't come out and say it, but We know through the spirit that's what they're trying to do, alter prophecy. If they, you see what the villain, it always, I always give you these movie analogies because it's just the truth. It's just the truth. You watch a movie and you see how the antagonist tries to alter something that's going to happen, that's cemented, and see if he can alter it from happening. And you know, when you watch, a Hollywood movie or any movie, if you will, that has this type of plot, the antagonist tries to alter the prophecy, the plot, the story. He tries to change it, especially if it doesn't fit to his liking. Especially if it doesn't fit to his liking. But there's no stopping prophecy. Revelations 1:7, it says, behold, he comes with clouds, chariots, clouds. These scriptures, these scrolls keep speaking of this man. They keep speaking of this specific man that's coming back with our army. There you have it. These prophecies they keep speaking of this specific man, which is Hamashiach, Yahawashi. And I'm saying man loosely because he's not coming back as a man. And I'm going to dive into that and look at the special number. The special number is approaching in one more minute. That special number is approaching in one more minute. But these prophecies, these scrolls, they keep speaking of this man, and I'm using that loosely. Yahawashi Mashiach, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. They keep speaking on him. And there goes the number. I gotta always bring that number out, man, because that's the special number. 144,000. 144,000 were signed, sealed, and delivered from the foundation of the earth. 144,000 men of all the 12 tribes scattered abroad to the four corners, according to James 1:1, Deuteronomy 28:68, Deuteronomy 28:64. They were signed, sealed, and delivered, the 144,000. And as you can see, that number, 144. But let's get back to it. These prophecies, these scrolls, they keep speaking of this man, Yahawashi Mashiach, coming with this great, terrible army. And they keep speaking of clouds and chariots. So it's not by chance. It's not by chance that these devils keep seeing these UFOs, these UAPs. And this is how you know that these UAPs and UFOs are not demonic. You got some people that believe they're demonic. Well, I guess beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right? So let's use that same analogy. If you're not on the right side of Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi, then I guess they are demonic. But if you're on the right side of Yahawashi Mashiach, then they're not demonic. They're the angels, as the Bible states they are. Something demonic is not going to turn off the nuclear missiles. Something demonic is not going to harass these wicked military bases, these wicked men that run these militaries. Something demonic is not going to harass these devils. That sounds like something that's right for the people. That sounds like something that's coming to help, if you ask me. Revelations 1:7, it says, behold, he come with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. So that's regeneration, or what you will hear the apostles and other prophets and other apostles and men on down. You will hear them refer to it as reincarnation, but that's regeneration. So those that pierced Yahawashi Mashiach in times past will see him again in this coming future. This is This is crazy work, man. And I mean that in a great way. This is crazy work. This is crazy work. And I mean that in a great way. It says, behold, he come with clouds, the UFOs, the UAPs, since they want to dub him that. And every eye shall see him, and also they which pierced him. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. It says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, says the Lord, which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty. The one you call to get rid of Boogeyman or the Boogeyman or John Wick or Godzilla is coming. The one you call to get rid of Godzilla, the Boogeyman, and John Wick is coming. And it's all written through prophecy. And it's not a damn thing any of us can do about it. Nothing we can do about it. And he's coming back for a specific people. Now that's the scary part, huh? That's the scary part. This guy that's this guy, or this God rather, that you call to get rid of the Boogeyman, John Wick, and Godzilla, is coming for a specific people, a designated people. He has his eyes on a designated or specified people on the earth. Isaiah 63, it says, who is this that comes from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and all thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? It says, I have trodden the wine press alone, and of that people there was none with me, for I would tread them down in my anger. Why so serious? And trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. I will stain all my raiment. The raiment is the clothes. It says, for the day of vengeance. Here's the point. Here's the point. This is why he's so serious. All of the lies, the pesticides, the herbicides, the chemicals, the fluoride, all in the water, in the food, the whitewashing of the Israelites, the saints of him, of his father, all throughout the world, the upbringing of all these false religions all through the world, the pedophilia, the sex trafficking, the lies, the deception. This is why he's so angry. The fake wars on terror, the lies, the deception, the propaganda. This is why he's so serious. Ultimately, the way that these heathen nations have treated God's people, his people, is ultimately why he's so angry. It says Isaiah 63:4, for the day of vengeance is in my mind, his heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. Who is the redeemed? The redeemed is the elect. That 144,000, that 144 that I showed earlier within this lesson. It says Isaiah 63:5, it says, and I looked and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I would tread down the people in my anger. All of these words, anger, fury, vengeance. Why so serious? It says, and I would tread down the people in my anger and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. So Yahushua is coming back for a nation that the prophecies call or dub Edom. Edom. The one you call to get rid of the Boogeyman, John Wick, and Godzilla is coming for a nation specified through the prophecies as Edom. But not only Edom, chiefly all of the nations that have taken crafty counsel against a specified people on the earth, which are dubbed as the Israelites, which the prophecies call them the Israelites. Let's grab this because I don't want to make it too long. Psalms 83, where are you? Psalms 83. Yahweh, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, 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 Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. So, all of the nations. Psalms 83, it says, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who are his people? Who are the hidden ones? It's the Israelites, you so-called native Indians, Hispanics, blacks, Negroes, islanders, and even our people that's amongst the heathen, that look like the heathen, the Israelites. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And it's going to tell you. It's going to tell you, man. It's going to tell you. Verse 6. This is just prophecy. Our job is to just give prophecy. That's it. That's our job. Our job is to bring out the prophecy. That's it. We are to tell the world what's about to happen. And the thing is, people don't realize what's about to happen. It says Psalms 83 verse 6. It says the tabernacles. It's gonna tell you who these people are. It says the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarians. It says Jabal, Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur is also joined with them. They have hopen the children of Lot, Salah. So all of these nations, man. So all of these nations, Yahweh Shai, the one you called to get rid of the boogeyman, the one you called to get rid of John Wick, the one you called to get rid of Godzilla himself, is coming back because he has a bone to pick with the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites and Moab and the Hagarians and Jabal and Ammon and Amalek and the Philistines and Tyre and Ashur. All of these Gentile nations that have taken crafty counsel against his people. This is serious, serious business. This is serious, serious business. This is prophetic prophecy. It's not a game, man. It's really not a game. And when you really dissect it and look into it, man, it is really serious. It's a very serious ordeal. And this is why everything is speeding up. Everything is speeding up, man. Everything is speeding up. It's like you fall asleep and then you wake back up. It's like you wake back up and you fall back to sleep. Everything is just happening as far as the prophecies go. Isaiah 47, 3 and 4, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his holy name, the Holy One of Israel. So when he comes back with those chariots, with those clouds, it's going to be, it's called ball. If you play sports, specifically one of my favorite sports, because I play a lot of sports. I truly believe, I had to be a prophet in my time past, in my life's past, but I definitely was a warrior for sure. Definitely a warrior in my life past. But I'm definitely an athlete, man. I'm definitely a dog athlete, man. But one of my favorite sports is basketball. So when the game is over, you say ball game. You call ball game when the game is over with. And that's really what Yahweh Shai is calling. He's calling ball game. When he comes and break forth through that dimension, dimension, it's ball game. It's over. It's ball game. Let's go into some more prophecy. Prophecy, 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 prophecy. That's it. Prophecy. Let's grab second Esdras. Second Esdras. Second Esdras. Second Esdras. Well, you know what? We'll grab Revelations. Revelations 19:10. Revelations 19:10. The one you called to get rid of the boogeyman and John Wick and Godzilla is coming. We are ushering in, his coming. We're pre-warning you what's about to happen. And this goes, and definitely believe this goes for us first and foremost. Definitely for us. This definitely goes for us, man. So this is why we try our best to fight the flesh, to stay in the spirit, to move in the spirit, to indulge in the spiritual food, to be on our best behavior, if you will. We try our best. Now, don't get it twisted. None of us is perfect. None of the prophets, none of the apostles, none of the scholars are perfect. We have our flaws. We have our problems, just like any mortal. Just like any mortal. But like I always say in these lessons, yeah, I'm a mortal, but I'm not just any mortal. Clearly, I can't be any old mortal. Clearly. Revelations 19:10, it says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am your fellow servant. This is the angel talking to, this is the angel talking to one of the apostles. I wanted to jump out on a limb and say John, but I don't want to be wrong. So I'm not going to say John, but I'm going to put it like this. This is an angel talking to one of the apostles. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. John the Revelator. Salah. It got to be John the Revelator. Revelations 19:10, it says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am your fellow servant and of your brother that have the testimony. This is the angel talking to John the Revelator, I believe. He says, I am a fellow servant and of your brother that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. And that's what we have. We have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. It says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. That white horse is code red or code word for chariots, UFOs. He's not coming back on an actual horse. That white horse, I truly believe this white horse is a analogy, a metaphor of power, which is the chariots, because you have to precept upon precept, line upon line. White horse, horsepower, the Mustang, horsepower, and white horse. It says, and that's power, like majesty, majestic. It says, behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. That's Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, a so-called black man with dark bronze skin, full nose, full lips, woolly hair. You just can't write this story, man. You can't write this story no better way. How is it that these so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians, and all of our people scattered abroad is envied, is hated, downtrodden, oppressed, suppressed, and at the very end, one that's going to come out of their stock is going to come and eradicate the wicked of the world and restore the world. And he's coming out of the stock of the Israelites. You couldn't write this script no better way. You couldn't write it no better way. It says, Revelations 19, it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. It says, in his righteousness he does judge and make war, because that's what he's coming back to do. He's coming back to slaughter the wicked, and he has his eyes on like I said earlier, on a specified nation. It says his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his head were as many crowns, and his head had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of God. And the armies, remember I said these prophecies, they keep talking about him coming back with chariots, with clouds, with other entities. Here's the Blues Clues. Revelations 19:14. And the armies which were in heaven followed him. Hey, he's coming back with that one. With that one, you know. You see, you hear, he's coming back with that one. That one. It says Revelations 19:14, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon their white horses. It says clothed in fine linen and white and clean. And out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty God. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh, you know, on his war apparel. He had, you know how you got the war apparel with your badges, with your name, you get it. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the birds, the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God, that ye may eat the flesh, that you may eat people. This angel was telling the birds, get ready to eat people, basically, that you may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains and the flesh of all the mighty men. And this is going to be these Gentile nations, these heathen militaries, these Gentile militaries. This is the flesh that the birds are going to be eating, digesting. It says that you may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains and the flesh of mighty men. This is prophecy. This is coming prophecy. This is soon to happen prophecy. This is prophecy that these devils are trying to alter, change, if they can, if they could, rather. That's the better term, because they can't. But if they could, it says that ye may eat the flesh of kings, because it's already written. It's already written. All of this was already written. You can't write the script no better than this. It says that you may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains and the flesh of mighty men and the flesh of horses and of them that sit on them and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beast. That beast is the heathen nations and their armies and militaries and the kings of the earth, the armies, the militaries, the heathen nations. You know, all of these nations are going to fight against Hamashiach Yahushai. And I saw the beasts and the kings in the earth and their armies gather together to make war against him. Him, the one you call to get rid of the boogeyman, John Wick, and Godzilla himself. They're going to try to thump with him. And you know what? I give them a little respect. Because I'm also a fearless man myself, or should I say immortal, but not just any mortal. I'm also a fearless man myself, but I give them a little respect for that. It says, and I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth, but they're going to lose. It's no beating Yahushai HaMashiach. It says, and I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. It says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them, that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshiped his image. Right now, UK has just passed the digital ID. I repeat, UK has just passed the digital ID. All of their citizens have to take this digital will have to be processed by this digital ID. So that's what that prophecy is going into, the mark of the beast. So he's coming back for you 2/3 that take it. And of course, all of the Gentile, the heathen nations. But that's that. Let's grab one more. I don't want this to be too long. We are already 44 minutes in, which is not bad, but You just can't write this stuff no better. Second Esdras, chapter 13. And here's the here I mean, all of those precepts were the point of emphasis. But if you need any more emphasis on the point, it don't get no better than this. Second Esdras chapter 13, 2 on down. It says, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong. Who is that man? That man is the one you call to get rid of the boogeyman, John Wick, and Godzilla himself. It says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong, Hamashiach Yahawashai, a so-called black man. A so-called black man, full nose, with a full nose, with full lips, dark bronze skin and woolly hair. Black man. You know, it's this old video of this little Edomite girl. This little Edomite girl, she was being a devil, man. I gotta call a spade a spade. She was being a devil. Her mama asked her who ate the sweets, you know, the last bit of the sweets. And she said, a black man did it. She just blamed the shit on the black man, because that's what they do. They just blame shit on us, right? Try to make us the face of terror and make us the face of evil, when in all actuality, it's the so-called white man that fits all of those cues. But anyway, she said it was a black man, and I think they're like in London or something. She got that little accent. The accent is funny, makes the video even funnier. But she said a black man did it. Just blamed it on the black man. Ain't no black man in sight. But yeah, so this is a black man that's coming. That's my whole point. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong, from the tribe of Judah. He's a black man from the tribe of Judah, or Yahawada in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. It says, and I behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it feels the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together. Remember what it talked about in Revelations 19, how that these armies, the beasts, came up against him. This is going into the military armies. You know, Trump just had this meeting, or he's having this meeting with all of the war generals or whatever. However, it's going to conspire. Who cares? Because prophecy is prophecy. The cat is already out the bag. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men. These are the armies, that beast that's prophesied in Revelations 19, that's going to come up against him, Hamashiach Yahawashai, and his army. It says, and after this, 2 Esdras 13:5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue that man. Notice how this stuff keep precepting one another. For you idiots that say the Apocrypha is not canon. Why is the Apocrypha always matching up with the Bible if the Apocrypha is not canon? It says, reading it over, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue that man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain. Here's the point. Prophet Ezra seen Yahushua coming back on that white horse. Remember what it said in Revelations 19. He's coming on a white horse. Remember I said it can't be an actual literal horse. That horse is power. You know, the Mustang horsepower. that what he's coming back on and coming back with is a gang or a army of chariots, spacecraft, spaceships. Prophet Ezra was given the vision. It's the 2 Esdras 13:6. It says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain. The greatest movie to portray this is Independence Day. Independence Day. Go watch Independence Day and see how that spaceship invaded the dimension that we're in, and how it invaded the whole dimension of the world. It says, but I beheld, and he graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. but I would have seen the region. Ezra said this spaceship was so huge that he couldn't spot it where it was going out or going in. It says, but I would have seen the region or place where out that it was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid. You know, these militaries, these heathen militaries, they're going to fight. And not only the heathen militaries, you stupid Israelites. You stupid Israelites. You're going to be fighting the one that's coming back to redeem your people. Stupid 2/3. You Israelites that's out there in the militaries, navies, marine, whoever going to be out there fighting Yahweh Shai and the angels. More than likely it's going to be the Marines and the armies and special forces. But you Jakes, you Israelites that's in these and out there in those militaries, you're going to be fighting the one that's coming to give you really everything that you deserve, everything that was stolen. Let's just call a spade a spade. 2 Ezra 13. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. So they were shook, they were scared, but Yahweh put it in their spirit to fight, because he's the greatest movie director of them all. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, the Ancient of Days, he's the greatest movie director of them all. They were so afraid and yet did fight. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude, these heathen nations coming up, trying to basically counter him, Yahweh Shai and the angels and the armies and the UFOs and the UAPs, the chariots, the clouds of Israel. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. This is some Star Wars type ordeal. This is some Star Wars type ordeal. That's all I can say. It says, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. This is that concentrated fire, laser beams. It says, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together that in the blast of fire, the flaming breath and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one, so that upon all of a sudden an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. So basically, they got obliterated. They got annihilated. They got eradicated and disintegrated. With that, I'm going to say, Call Halam La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. The one you call to get rid of the boogeyman, John Wick, and Godzilla is fastly approaching every day. Every day we wake up and get towards the end of prophecy. He's fastly approaching. What is our testimony? Our testimony is the testimony of Yahweh Shai. That's the spirit of prophecy. Shalom, 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 man. You can't write this no better. You can't write this no better.